about to go print a new replacement coffee cup. No, you heard right. Manufacturing technology has actually developed to the point where I can sit at my desk and print three-dimensional physical objects. Here, I'll show you. This is an artistic rendering of what is commonly referred to as a 3D printer. It's a computer-controlled machine that can create three-dimensional shapes from a base material, such as plastic pellets or metallic powder. Given enough time, this machine can literally give raw information a physical presence in the real world. And thanks to recent efforts, such machines are now affordable enough to have in your own home. This still developing technology has a great deal of potential to change the way we view physical items. As you can see, being able to manufacture commonly used items in my own home at the click of a button means not having to run to the local megastore to buy a replacement. It will completely revolutionize the way we view the world around us. Of course, no revolution comes without a cost. Some say that with such great potential comes great opportunity for abuse. In Albert Borgmann's essay, The Lightness of Being, Borgmann references the differences in analog and digital forms of information, saying that these information flows are separated by their channels and the devices that present the information to us. Digitization will expand until it has breached the structural dams. In the not-so-distant future, 3D printers may become advanced enough to be able to print high-end devices and electronics. Why go to a store to replace that cell phone you dropped in the bathtub when you can just download the newest model from the internet and have it printed on your desktop within half an hour? It's a machine that can make information incarnate. For better or worse, Mr. Borgmann, that structural dam of separation is about to collapse. A future where someone can log on to Amazon and purchase the newest Android or Apple product for home printing will mark a time when physical items have become a commodity on the same level as digital photos, movies, and pictures, all thanks to their availability as nothing more than ones and zeros. It's not all fun and games, however. Ask a tech-savvy person what comes to mind when considering the 90s and the digital music revolution, and he or she will often direct you to a three-letter abbreviation, DRM. DRM stands for Digital Rights Management. Its primary purpose is to control what can be done with information, and has been lauded by some as the industry's solution to one of the most talked about dilemmas of the digital content revolution, software piracy. DRM aims to combat piracy by taking a technology and limiting its capabilities. For instance, music purchased through popular services such as iTunes are only allowed to play on a set number of devices. There's no technical reason why that digitized song couldn't be played on a plethora of gadgets, except for the limitations imposed by DRM. Digital rights management effectiveness is based solely on its ability to cripple otherwise powerful technology. So how could DRM affect the young, evolving 3D printing world? Well, you can imagine that companies like Verizon wouldn't take too kindly to your downloading their newest Droid Razor from a website like the Pirate Bay without paying for it first. But that's exactly what could happen. Physical real-world objects could be subject to theft by software piracy in a way never before possible. A company named Intellectual Ventures saw this real-world piracy problem coming and proposed a solution in the form of a patent. From their point of view, their patented system would stop individuals from illegally exploiting object production rights. This system would force your 3D printer to call home to a central database of existing 3D objects. If the object you want to print is not on the OK list, your 3D printer will simply reject the file and refuse to print. Sounds effective, right? But there's another very important perspective to consider. Critics of DRM have correctly pointed out that it fails to solve the very problem it was meant to address. To this day, the most DRM-controlled digital content in existence, movies, music, and video games, can all be easily found online through illicit means. The reason for DRM's failure is simple. If a single person can find a way around the often draconian restrictions imposed by DRM, then the entire world has access to it. With such a large number of people in the world, those aren't the best odds. Many individuals, and even companies with some names as big as HP, have theorized that the best way to stop software piracy may be to compete with it. By making your product easily accessible and cheap, people feel less inclined to illegally download it instead. The still young 3D printing technology's greatest strength is that it has the potential to build anything from practically nothing. Endless possibilities sitting on your desk. DRM's sole mean of existence is in crippling and limiting those exact same possibilities. Since DRM has a track record of failure in preventing digital content piracy, and there are other equally viable solutions, is this death of possibility really worth the risk?